Iran's military power, a deep dive into its capabilities and regional influence. Iran, officially the Islamic Republic of Iran, stands at the crossroads of geopolitical tension and strategic ambition in the Middle East. Despite decades of sanctions, arms embargoes, and diplomatic isolation, Iran has developed a resilient and multifaceted military structure. While its conventional military might lags behind that of modern Western or regional powers, Iran has carved a distinct military identity based on asymmetric warfare, missile proliferation, and proxy engagement. This article delves deep into the various components of Iran's military apparatus to assess just how powerful its equipment and strategy are in 2025. The cornerstone of deterrence, Iran's missile and drone arsenal. Iran's missile program is arguably the most formidable component of its military. It serves as both a deterrent and a tool for power projection across the Middle East. 1. Ballistic missiles. Iran possesses the largest and most diverse ballistic missile arsenal in the Middle East. This includes short-range, medium-range, and intermediate-range ballistic missiles, or SRBMs, MRBMs, and IRBMs, such as Shahab 3, a medium-range missile with a range of 1,300 to 2,000 kilometers. Ghadar 110, an upgraded Shahab with greater accuracy. Sejjil, a solid-fuel two-stage MRBM with a range over 2,000 kilometers, reducing launch preparation time. Bavar, a newer MRBM with advanced propulsion and targeting systems. These missiles can strike targets across the Gulf, Israel, and parts of Eastern Europe. Iran has invested heavily in mobile launch platforms and underground missile bases, missile cities, complicating detection and targeting efforts. 1. Hypersonic and precision-guided weapons. In recent years, Iran unveiled the Fattah hypersonic missile, claiming speeds of Mach 13 to 15 with maneuverability to evade air defense systems. While independent verification is limited, the unveiling reflects Iran's commitment to pushing its technological envelope. Additionally, Iran's missile guidance systems have improved significantly. Older missiles were largely unguided, but modern variants like Zulfiqar and Dezful include precision GPS and electro-optical guidance systems, improving strike accuracy, particularly against fixed military infrastructure. 3. Drone or UAV capabilities. Iran is also emerging as a drone power. Shahed 129, a long-endurance UAV used for reconnaissance and strike missions. Mohajer 6, capable of surveillance and carrying precision-guided bombs. Shahed 136, a kamikaze loitering munition made famous for its use in the Ukraine war by Russia. Iran's drones are cost-effective, mobile, and difficult to intercept in large swarms, giving it a significant advantage in modern asymmetric warfare. Tehran has exported drone technology to its allies and proxies, expanding its influence far beyond its borders.
Air Force, aged and outclassed. While Iran's missile force is modernizing, its Air Force remains one of the weakest links in its conventional military capabilities. Aging fighter fleet. Iran's core aircraft are remnants of the pre-1979 era or second-hand acquisitions. US-made F-4 Phantom II, F-5, and F-14 Tomcat, acquired under the Shah, still in use but aging rapidly. Russian MiG-29 and Su-24, acquired post-revolution but in limited numbers and with maintenance challenges. Indigenous jets. The Kausar, Iran's first domestic jet fighter, is essentially a refurbished F-5 design with limited capabilities. Due to international sanctions, Iran has struggled to upgrade avionics, engines, and weapon systems. Some aircraft are kept flying only through cannibalized parts or black market procurement. 2. Air superiority limitations. Without access to modern 4.5 or 5th-generation jets, Iran is significantly behind air forces like those of Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey, all of whom operate F-15s, F-16s, Eurofighters, or F-35s. This puts Iran at a serious disadvantage in any high-intensity air conflict. Naval forces, asymmetrical doctrine in the Persian Gulf. Iran's naval strategy is not based on conventional superiority, but on asymmetrical disruption and control of key maritime choke points. Two naval forces. Iran has two separate naval branches. Iranian Navy, IRIN, responsible for operations in the Caspian Sea and open waters, and IRGC Navy, IRGCN, focuses on the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz using fast attack craft, drones, and mine warfare. Swarm tactics and mine warfare. The IRGCN operates hundreds of fast attack boats armed with rockets, torpedoes, or anti-ship missiles, often used in swarm formations to overwhelm larger warships. These tactics are designed to harass or disable U.S. and allied naval vessels without engaging in direct ship-to-ship combat. Iran also has significant naval mine capabilities and has threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, through which over 20% of the world's oil passes. This gives Tehran powerful leverage over global energy markets during times of crisis. Submarines and anti-ship missiles. Ghadir-class mini-submarines, designed for stealth operations in the shallow Persian Gulf. Fattah class, larger and equipped with torpedoes and cruise missiles. Anti-ship missile inventory includes Noor, based on Chinese C-802, Qadir, and other sea-skimming missiles capable of targeting vessels within 300 kilometers.
Ground forces and regional proxies, the power beyond borders. 1. Conventional ground forces. Iran's ground army, known as Artesh, includes thousands of tanks, armored vehicles, and infantry units. However, most tanks, like the T-72 or Zulfiqar, an Iranian upgrade, are outdated compared to modern Western or Russian armor. Their utility lies more in defense or irregular warfare than in high-speed armored offensives. 2. The IRGC and Quds Force. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, is more influential than the regular army. Its elite branch, the Quds Force, is responsible for Iran's external operations and has embedded influence throughout the region. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shia militias in Iraq, such as Kataib Hezbollah, Asaib al-Haq, Syrian government forces, Houthis in Yemen. Through training, weapons supply, and direct combat, Iran's proxies serve as force multipliers and allow it to fight regional wars without deploying its own troops. Air defense, evolving but unproven. Iran has heavily invested in layered air defense systems to counter U.S. or Israeli airstrikes. 1. Domestic systems. Bavar 373, Iran's most advanced system, claimed to rival the S-300. Khordad 15 and 3rd Khordad, medium-range SAMs that reportedly shot down a U.S. RQ-4 Global Hawk drone in 2019. Rad and Sayad systems, medium-range platforms capable of targeting cruise missiles and low-flying aircraft. 2. Russian S-300 PMU. Iran received the S-300 in 2016 after years of delay. While not the latest model, it provides significant coverage against high-altitude threats. Despite these developments, Iran's air defense network is untested against a modern multi-vectored assault that includes stealth aircraft, drones, cyber attacks, and standoff weapons.
cyber warfare and electronic capabilities, the silent frontline. Iran has increasingly invested in cyber warfare as a means of asymmetric power projection. While it lags behind global cyber superpowers like the US, Russia, or China, it has proven to be a capable mid-tier cyber actor, particularly within the Middle East and against soft civilian infrastructure. 1. Notable cyber units and groups. Iran's cyber activities are often attributed to groups allegedly linked to the IRGC cyber command, including APT-33, or Elfin, focuses on espionage, particularly against aerospace and energy sectors. APT-34, or Oil Rig, conducts phishing and credential theft campaigns targeting regional governments. APT-39, involved in tracking dissidents and monitoring telecommunications. 2. Cyber attacks and operations. Iran has carried out or been accused of multiple major cyber attacks. Shamoon, 2012-2016, destructive malware attacks targeting Saudi Aramco and other Gulf energy firms. Operation Ababil, a sustained DDoS attack on U.S. banks, 2011-2013. Cyber retaliation after the 2020 assassination of General Qasem Soleimani, including attacks on Israeli water facilities and minor intrusions into American infrastructure. While Iran's tools are often not cutting-edge, they are cost-effective, disruptive, and scalable, making them useful for espionage, sabotage, and psychological operations. Comparative analysis: Iran versus regional rivals. To fully understand Iran's military power, it's essential to compare it with major regional actors: Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. Each represents a unique strategic and technological challenge to Iran. 1. Iran versus Israel. Israel has a technologically advanced military, including F-35I Adir stealth fighters, David Sling and Iron Dome missile defense, and nuclear weapons, widely believed though undeclared. Iran, meanwhile, lacks stealth aircraft and relies on missile deterrence, drones, and proxies like Hezbollah, which sits directly on Israel's northern border. Balance: Israel has conventional dominance and cyber superiority. Iran compensates with missiles, asymmetry, and regional reach. 2. Iran versus Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has one of the most well-funded militaries in the world, equipped with F-15s, Eurofighters, Patriots, and cutting-edge American and European systems. However, its effectiveness has been questioned, especially during its prolonged and costly involvement in Yemen. Iran has been able to bleed Saudi resources by supporting Houthi rebels and launching drone and missile strikes via proxies. Balance: Saudi Arabia holds the technological edge. Iran holds the advantage in asymmetric pressure and ideological warfare. 3. Iran versus Turkey. Turkey fields a modern NATO-standard military with a well-developed drone program, Bayraktar TB2, Akinci, a large army, and regional military bases. Unlike Saudi Arabia, Turkey is more independent and aggressive in its regional posture. For example, Libya, Syria, Azerbaijan. Iran and Turkey compete for influence in Iraq, Syria, and the Caucasus. Balance: Turkey has a stronger conventional force and more agile foreign policy. Iran leverages its ideological alliances and deep-rooted proxy networks. Strengths, weaknesses, and limitations. Key strengths: missile deterrence. Iran's missile force is central to its military doctrine and acts as a deterrent against U.S. or Israeli attacks. Proxy warfare allows Tehran to shape regional conflicts, Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, without direct confrontation. Resilience and self-reliance. Sanctions have forced Iran to become self-sufficient in weapons production, including missiles, drones, and some armored systems. Critical weaknesses: aging air force, no match for modern air forces, highly vulnerable in any major conflict. Outdated ground equipment. Tanks, APCs, and artillery are mostly Cold War-era systems with limited survivability. Limited naval reach. Iran's navy cannot project power far beyond its coastal waters. Technological lag. Compared to regional peers, Iran still lags in precision warfare, ISR, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and battlefield communications.
Iran's military doctrine and strategic outlook. Iran's military doctrine is shaped by three main pillars. 1. Asymmetric warfare. Knowing it cannot win a conventional war against the US or Israel, Iran focuses on denial strategies: sea denial in the Gulf, area denial via missiles, and deterrence through retaliation by proxies. 2. Strategic depth via proxies. Iran doesn't fight wars on its own borders. Instead, it builds depth by supporting Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shia militias in Iraq, Assad regime in Syria, and Houthis in Yemen. This gives Iran regional resilience and a form of distributed defense. 3. Deterrence through escalation. Iran often signals that any attack on its territory will lead to regional escalation, targeting US forces in Iraq, Israel, Saudi oil infrastructure, and shipping in the Gulf. This raises the cost of any offensive action and deters preemptive strikes. Conclusion: a regional power with global consequences. Iran's military power cannot be assessed through the same lens as Western militaries. It is not built for large-scale invasions or power projection on a global scale. However, it is built for survival under siege, regional influence through asymmetric tools, punishing enemies through unconventional means. Iran remains a strategic player with enough military capability to disrupt global oil markets, threaten regional allies of the West, and survive long enough to inflict retaliatory pain. Its military is not designed to win in a traditional battlefield sense. It is designed to endure, bleed, and outlast. In that regard, Iran's military is powerful not by conventional standards, but by strategic design.